Do I want to say 10 things you need in your camera bag? All right, you guys, what's going on? Today we're back with another video, and today we're discussing, what's in my camera bag, and I feel like some things every photographer needs in there. So first things first, we have my Wandered book bag. I love this bag. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but for what you get, I feel like it's 100,000% worth it. When we're photographers, we're going out to these different locations, whether you're going to the studio or you're traveling for work, you want to make sure that your equipment is, well taken care of and well protected. So I have this Wandered case right here. As you can see, it is beat up because I do travel a lot for work. The outside is a water repellent material, which is great if I'm ever caught in the rain. And also the back has a lot of padding on it. So when you're out and you're filming long days and you have this on your back for a while, it doesn't really stress out your back as quickly as some other bags. And then inside of it, there's a whole bunch of little sections and nooks and crannies where you can store a whole bunch of equipment. I don't have everything in here right now, but you guys are gonna see what I do normally put inside of here. So let's go ahead and get to that. All right, so here's the workhorse right here. This is my Sony a7 IV. This is, in my opinion, one of the best hybrid cameras you can get for your buck. So it's great at shooting photos. The quality is amazing for when you're shooting videos as well. This is my main workhorse camera. I love it. I shoot a lot of photo and video projects. So sometimes I'm on projects where I have to shoot both at the same time. So for when I'm doing that, I like to have, a camera that can do both. And this Sony a7 IV definitely gets the job done. And on top of it, I have a small rig cage to just protect it if I ever drop it and when I'm attaching extra attachments to this camera. Here we have what I'm gonna go ahead and get into is my favorite go-to lens. This is the Sigma 24-70, whether I'm shooting photos, videos, in studio, out on location. I love this lens. 24 is a nice wide focal length to where it's not too wide, and 70 is a nice tight focal length to where it's not, too tight, and it still gets that good depth of field, good bokeh in the background. So this is normally my go-to setup for about, I want to say 80% of my shoots. And for my other two lenses that I carry with me, I have an 85mm lens, which I use a lot for beauty shots, headshots in studio, or whether I'm filming and I just want to get a close-up shot, this is what I use. And I also have this Sony Zeiss 16-35 f4 lens. When I'm shooting photos and I want that extra wide look, that real dramatic look, I will pull this lens out. It's great at getting those extra wide angles. Yeah, it's pretty much my go-to lens setup. And so for my go-to audio setup, these are pretty much like my three staples. First, right here, I have my DJI wireless mic. I don't know the actual name of this, and I probably should, but I do not right now. But this is my DJI mic. Whenever I'm filming somebody, I'm filming an interview, or I'm just filming audio where the camera is far away from the talent, I like to use this wireless setup. So you pretty much put this on top of your camera, and then you put this clip to your talent, or you can attach a lavalier mic to this, which I really like. And this audio setup is actually my favorite because there's so much that they put into this that's so intuitive that you can tell that they were thinking about the creators in mind when they built this. If you guys want a review on something like this, let me know, drop that down in the comments below. But this is definitely my favorite. And then I have this right here, which is my Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. This is what I use if I'm getting just general audio coming straight into the camera. Instead of just using the onboard camera microphone, I like to plug this in, and it heightens the quality of audio that I'm getting out of my camera. This isn't something that I try to record like an interview with or a podcast or anything serious like that. But if you're looking to get something like that, I'd recommend probably going with this DJI microphone or getting a shotgun microphone. And then last but not least, sometimes I'm shooting event videography, and if I have a speaker that I need to capture, then I have this Zoom H4n, black because I like all my equipment black, like I like my women. But yeah, this is my Zoom H4n. It's a great workhorse, so it's pretty much my go-to audio setup. All right, so the next thing I carry in my bag at all times are these lens filters. So right here, I have this Gobi Star filter, which I'll share some images for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But You put this on your camera and it gives your light sources this star look to them. It's very popular in concert photography, but I like to use it if I'm using it in studio. It gives it this kind of like retro disco feel. I might make a video on that too if you guys want that. And then this is my favorite filter right here. This is the Tiffin 1/4 Black Pro Mist filter. Let me take it out for you guys. So this filter, this is actually my favorite because I'm not a big fan of like the whole digital look on cameras. I kind of prefer my images to be creamy, very smooth. And so to get that, I shoot with a Tiffin 1/4 Black Pro Mist filter. So you put this on your lens, slap it on there, and it kind of takes off a lot of that digital edge that, you know, these modern day cameras give. And it also blooms out the highlights and it helps smoothen skin for when I'm shooting a lot of my female talent. And then last but not least, shout out to Peter McKinnon. I do have the Peter McKinnon Polar Pro Mist Edition 2 filter right here. So I don't know if you guys can see, you can see it's kind of gold. Yeah, this filter is pretty dope. It has this gold cast to it, which I really like. But basically you put this on your lens, and if you're filming outdoors on a very sunny day, this will help correct your exposure. And it has Pro Mist built into it, so you do get that softening effect in your image without having to, you know, slap on two filters at the same time. So shout out to Peter McKinnon for dropping this. It is very pricey, but it's definitely worth the price. All right, so this right here is my Think Tank case that I take with me whenever I'm traveling for work. Right here, it is waterproof. I actually did used to have the Pelican version, and in my opinion, I would not spend your money on getting that case. I think this is way better if you're a photographer or videographer looking for a case to travel with. I will show you guys the inside of it, but it is a little unorganized. Maybe I can, let me see. Let me see. All right, so yeah, you guys can see how I pretty much have everything set up in here. Yeah, we have our lens, we have our camera, we have our batteries, flash triggers, memory cards, small lights, SD card holders. And then up here we have, you know, our extra cables and all that. And so it is very protective. The material in here is very tough. I definitely would recommend this. If you're a photographer just looking to haul around your extra equipment, this is a case I highly recommend for you. Testing, 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 testing. We're back good, we're back good. So this is the light that I like to take with me. This is the Flashpoint or Godox, you know, they're made by the same company. This is the Explore 400 Pro, and I love it because the battery life on it is great. It's wireless, so when you're on set and you're in your sessions with your studio photography, you don't have to worry about cables and wires and all that. You know, everything is remote, everything is wireless. This is literally all you need to set it up. So another good thing about this light, this allows you to shoot at shutter speeds over your camera's shutter speed limit. So for Canon, that's about 200. Sony, that's about 250, but with this light, you can definitely shoot at 500, 600 and above. And it's also very, very powerful. I know it's very small, but you know, when you're shooting with it on location, you know, this can actually overpower the sun in some cases if you know how to use it right. And so this is definitely a flash that I would definitely recommend if you're looking to upgrade your studio photography from something like an Alien B or any wired options. This is definitely the light that I'd recommend you getting. And in combination with that, you are going to need a wireless trigger. And since I shoot with the Sony, I use the Sony X Pro S Godox trigger. It's great, you know, you can change the power of your light wirelessly, which is great. Instead of having to go over to the strobe and adjust it manually, you can do this all from the remote. And so make sure that if you are gonna get a strobe like this, that you make sure that you get a trigger like this Godox one right here. All right, you guys, so I also love drone photography and videography and just drone cinematography in general. And my drone of choice is the DJI Mavic Air 2S. This is a great drone, quality is amazing, 5.6K, can't do no wrong with that. And it has great transmission signal, so that means you can fly it way far out, miles away, and you'll still have a good reception back to your remote. This shit is so beat up, yo. See what I'm talking about, bro? And for the last item on the list, this is my Shinobi Atomos 5-inch. For when I'm on my video jobs, I love using this monitor. If I ever need something that's bigger than the monitor that comes on the camera, I like to pull this out. If you're looking for a good monitor, you know, this is like around 400 to 500 depending on where you find it. This is the one to go with. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I've listed all of these items in the description down below. If you guys want an in-depth look into any of my equipment, please drop a comment down below. Till next time.